Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today I thought that we would do something with washi tape. As you know, I've been tidying up everything that I've got and I found lots of old washi tape. Now this goes back a long time. It was just a pot that I had and I had it full of different bits of washi tape, and I thought, you know what, I need to use this for something. I've got another pot in here, so I'm just going to take it all out so you can see I've got some lovely goldy ones and things which will be perfect for Christmas, so I'm going to keep those because I like using those for Christmas time. So they need to go in there because we're not going to be doing Christmas, and this one as well because it's Christmas trees, so that can go in there. However, the rest I thought I would show you a very quick and simple way of being able to, instead of doing it with scraps of paper, you just literally take washi tape, and what you're going to do is you're just going to put it in all sorts of different angles and places down your card. So I'm going to just do 4 pieces like this. Okay, that's one colour. And you don't need to really worry about what colours you're putting in because it'll all sort of mix in with the blend as you go. So if I put this piece in, you need to make sure that they are, one goes on top of the other. So I'm just going to put these ones in. But if you've got a lot of washi tape, it's a great way of using it up and making, you know, a sort of a scrap piece. I'll show you what I've done with it by the time we've finished it. Let's have this one. This is quite nice blue, isn't it? As I say, these are very old, but they're still perfectly serviceable. So again, I'm just going to put this one next to this one, and probably this one next to this one, like that. And we'll probably have another one down here in the bottom like that on this one. Okay, so that's that one. Then we can take the next, and literally it's almost like don't think about it too much. Again, you can get washi tape all sorts of places. You know, quite often they do in the local sort of bargain shops, they'll do washi tape for, you know, bargain prices, so that it's the sort of thing, as I say, we use it for sticking up, like as a low tack tape, for adding decoration to a card. But I thought that this would be quite a fun idea to use with the tape that you've got. Okay, put that one in. You can see I'm literally just working through, just doing little bits here and there. So you need to find your ends, and as I say, depending how old it is, you'll be able to see where they are. I'm literally just going to take a few pieces off quite easily like this, and then I can put that one in there, and I want to have some of it coming up like this across there. And then let's have one, this can come in onto that little space. So the idea is that you fill up every space that you've got so that there isn't any card space left. It's all filled up with washi tape. And you literally just keep working it as you go. Some of this one. And as I say, just fill up all your spaces. And as you can see, I've got different colours going on, and that's fine. Let's put that on there. Maybe put this one up on there. That one maybe up this way. And this one can come down like that across there. Okay, so let's have this green one. It's a bit bigger, isn't it? And as I say, I'm just wanting to use some of it up because it's getting quite elderly. and I don't really want to have washi tape that isn't that good anymore, as it were. You know, it's been hanging around for a long time, but like everything, I put stuff in a drawer, then I forget about it, then I don't use it, and I'm like, okay, right, I need to do something with this that's quite fun and quite easy to do. So I'm just going to put this up on here. It takes a little while. It's not something you're going to do in a rush, but the more you do it, you know, the more washi tape, different types of washi tape you've got, the easier it is to do it. So I'm just bringing these bits in together. Let's put this one in here like that, and you just need to smooth it down as you go. You can leave it when we've finished, you can leave it as it is, or you can turn round and use, oh, what's it called, embossing folders, and work with those. And if you use your embossing folder, you can then get a different pattern. I will show you once we've just filled in this little bit, a little bit more. Okay, so I'm probably going to leave it about there now, because I'm not going to be able to do all of it, but you get the idea. You're literally just going to work your way around with all the different colours that you've got until you've completely covered your sheet, and you've then got a complete mishmash of washi tape in there. Now, to help secure it into place, what I would do is, and what I have done is, I would run it through an embossing folder, and then if you wanted some texture on top, you can put some texture. Now, I shall show you a couple that I've done. So I've die cut out some birds. I've got two that are solid, like that, and you can see on here I've had a little bit of gilding wax on there. I've run it through the embossing folder, and that seals it, particularly if it's old washi tape, it seals everything together. And I've also got two that are like this, which are slightly cut away, and I think that they make it look really pretty. It's very different from your patterned paper because washi tape has that sort of plasticated surface to it. So I thought, now I've shown you how to do that, you can do whatever shapes you want. I just happen to fancy doing a bird, and I'm going to make a card with a clean and simple card. Now, I find clean and simple cards really difficult to do. So I've got a square. It's just under 6 by 6. I have taken, do you remember when we were doing all of our fancy crinkled papers the other day? And I turned round and said all of the pieces that were on top. So I've still got some down on here. So, you know, I took, let's take this one that's done. You know, I took a couple of other prints from it, and it had all the mica powders and things in. Well, I've just taken those and die cut. I took 2 squares. So I took a, let me show you, have I got my squares out to show you? It's always easier to show you than it is to put it in. I don't know whether I have. I've probably put them away by now. But anyway, you basically, you take one square, and then you put the smaller square inside, and you die cut. So you cut the big square out first. You then cut take the smaller square and put it inside and die cut it out, and it gives you a frame. I then decided that I wanted a bit of a stitched element on there, so I've actually backed it onto a stitched square. So I thought, oh, that will work quite nicely, and I've got to work out, so I've got a yellow or a blue in here, and I've got to decide which one I want. I think I actually want it against the yellow. I think that'll stand out nicely. Or I can have one against the yellow and one against the blue. Will probably work quite well. It's difficult to tell, actually. You can see how they bring out, I quite like that one against the blue, I think, although I like that yet. Oh, it's difficult now. Might have to do two. So I thought if I put this on here like that, the little bird can stand with its little feet just on the frame. And just, so it's not going to be completely inside, it's sort of almost going to be outside the frame a little bit. But I thought, okay, clean and simple, you've got all of that blank space. Now, if you're starting clean and simple, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I thought, and I've got two ways of doing this. I think I'm going to do, I took some 4x4s and I've just embossed them straight over. So I've got some in wood grain and I've got some in spots. So I think with a bird, I should probably do it with wood grain. So I think, let's see if that will go in like that. Will that go flat? I think it should do. And I think that that will work perfectly. So let's, oh, I could put it that way around actually. That might work nicer actually on the debossed side. This has gone a little bit, it's quite thin paper that I used, so it has got a little bit, oh, what do you call it? I think it's split in one particular area, but that doesn't matter. Use whatever embossing folder you think will work with it. Let's say this is just a wood grained one, but you can get all sorts. So I'm sure everybody's got lots of embossing folders. So, you know, use what you've got. This is all about using what you've got. I know a lot of you have been turning around and saying it's such a good idea because you've all got so many things that you... hold on, I'm going to be quiet now because I've got to get this lined up as straight as I can. I think that's about right. So I'm going to do it this way around. And I want to take it so that it's absolutely smooth on here. So it gives a really nice background. So I'm making sure that each one of these pieces is nice and smooth on here. So what I can do is turn it the other way around and just give it a rub on here. And if you find things are buckling a bit, just sort of leave it for a while and stick it under a book or something like that. But that gives you just another bit of a layer. Then I'm going to put this one in on the centre on here. Again, I'm not adding dimensionals or anything to it. I'm just keeping it in one layer. I like this one. I think the yellow works nicely. And again, you could put dimensionals up if you want to, but I think from speaking to a lot of you, it's universal that postage has just gone sky high, and we don't really need to have too many embellishments and things on there. Work out how you like your paper, and as I say, you can use designer series paper, pattern paper, whatever you happen to have if you want to. But I made these papers and I really, really like them. So, you know, you've got this gorgeous mica coming through. I think it's beautiful. So that's this. And then we're just going to put the little bird in like that. I want his little feet on there. And I'm just going to very carefully use one of the advantages of these Tombow glue. It's probably one of the best glues to be able to just literally point down and go in and get all of those little, because I want those little feet in. I turn it around on the other side so I make sure that I have everything with some glue in. So I don't want it to pull up at all. So once it's down, you want it to be down and to stay down. So I'm just making sure that I've just taken just a little bit of glue in here. Come on, that's it. There we go. Okay, so I can now put this down. And as I say, I want those little feet to just be over the edge because I think those little feet actually look really sweet. So I'm just going to take him like that. This little tail coming out and his little beak across, and then just his little feet like that on there, because I think that that gives really nice texture and look to that. Okay, so you can now leave it exactly like that if you want to, or you can take a sentiment. So I've done a couple of sentiments. In what I tend to do is I will do a selection of them. So this is sort of on the yellows and things. So I've done this in green, and we can either have with love or we can have for you. I think with love might actually work quite nicely. Let's have a look and see. I'm going to have to cut this out. So let me just cut that up like that and see whether I want, I don't know whether I want it just without cutting it down, if you see what I mean, or whether I'm going to take it right the way around. I'm just going to see how big it comes if I just take it straight across on here. It's probably about right, is that? Do I want it like that? No, I think I do want to have it sort of cut down a bit, just to come down here a tad more. Sentiments are quite sweet because it's a tiny little panel and we're doing a lot of it as a clean and simple. You don't want to have too much everywhere, and I don't really want it over the top of the bird, unless I'm going to just, let's do a bit of shaping, see if that will make it look a little bit better. Let's take it up over the top. Just rounding my corners. And we'll round that little corner there. Okay, let's see what that does. Is that better? I quite like the little feet. So what I could do is to just put it about there, I think. Is that going to look nice? Don't know, I'm not feeling that sentiment. I don't like the way it's cut in. It's got to come down on here, hasn't it? Let's just give that little bit of a I think that's better, but I need to do the other side of it as well, because that L's going to go right up to the top. That's a bit better, I think. Maybe I need to just get this, you know, when you start fiddling with it and you just go like, okay, so if we're doing that in there, I need to take that up in on there. Just turn that round. I think that'll be better. And then we'll just put, I need to have it just about there, I think. No, I don't like that. Don't like that at all. I think for you is probably going to be better. As I say, I'm just not feeling that. I don't think it just doesn't work. You know, sometimes you look at things and you go like, that is definitely not going to work. So let's have a look and see if this one will. It's always fun doing sentiments. I said I was going to at one point just make a whole pile of them and put them in a thing so I can just take them out. And then I thought, I don't know, because I like doing them in different colours. So you'd have to do them in so many different colours. Okay, so that's going to say for you. I could have that just straight in the centre, couldn't I? You see, that would work. That would work like that. And I think that that's probably going to be the best one. Or do I put it down at the... See, I'm terrible. I tend to always put things outside so that they're not actually on there. But in reality, I think I need to have it in the actual bird itself, because then that's all that little side. I don't want it sort of up out of the way. So I think in the centre. And I think that's fine. Have I cut it out nicely enough? I think I have. So this is going to be on there, and I'm just going to take a bit of wet glue on here and then it can go just in on the center like that. So it can go for you like that. Just put it down there. See, now I think that looks lovely. You've got that tiny little thing on there, which I think looks really pretty. Now what I could do is I could frame this round and just do this with a ruler and some silver or gold or whatever. And I might do that afterwards because I think it needs to have just a little framing on there. But there again, I'm starting to change it from being clean and simple. I'm adding things. I struggle with clean and simple, and it's something that I need to work at. So have a go. If you're a great clean and simple person, you'll love doing this. I've got a few more to show you, and I'll be doing more this week. So this week is all going to be about clean and simple and working with these little frames, because I've done, as you can see, I've done 6. So I've done 3 blue and I've done 3 green. So I thought that I would do something different on each one at each time. So hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.